It
Appreciate
could be
you.
because I'm sick and I'm probably whistling out my
Oh.
nose. These are possibilities.
Just that sentence was really good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm trying to be patient with you, and also I'm whistling out my nose right now. There's that.
I'm trying to be helpful,
I
but
know.
I don't want you to be trying to fix something that's some sort of illness-related defect with me. You're twiddling knobs and moving microphones, but I'm just currently defective. You can twiddle all the knobs you want, friend.
This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
For the record, I don't think you're defective. I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. Welcome to the show. She's Emily, I'm Stu. She's sick, and we're doing a pre-record because not only is she sick, she's going to be traveling to Canada. Oh, I bet you're fired up and ready for that. Sit in an airplane with a terrible sickness and cold, and your family's sick, and you're going to get the whole plane sick. Do you feel guilty at all?
No.
Okay.
Because it's a residual sort of thing now. It's just a post-nasal drip. There's no
You're one of those people that
fevers.
thinks they're not
I know.
contagious at this point. I've talked to them.
Yeah.
All
No,
right. I guess
I'm
we'll
good.
see. I would like you to get phone numbers for people that you sit near and say, hi, I'd like to give you a call in a couple of weeks to find out if I get you sick. Do you think you could do that? We'll check in with them.
No, but I'm going to be staying in the same house as our friends, and so
Mhm.
I'll know whether or not they get sick. They already know that we're on the tail end of a cold, and they're like, yay, let's share germs. Not worried about it at all.
All right.
So
All right.
it's going to be
Well,
good.
I guess we'll see. You're going to
Yeah.
Canada. Is there any urge to stay there when you get there? Because I know I would.
I think it depends. There's something really nice about going to Canada because we're Australian. Stepping into the Commonwealth is nice. All of the signs are in the correct thing. You know, everything's in kilometers, so it's just normal. They use Celsius. It's
Yeah.
normal. So it's going to be nice for a little while. I like the idea of staying. Yes, we've thought about it, but the weather, it's just not ideal.
It's true. Yeah, the weather up there is not good. And where you are, it's even a little bit better than Canada. I wouldn't picture that. I would picture it being very snowy and cold there.
Where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, well, you come out here, it's 81 degrees every single day, but you will grow to hate it. You say that to people and they're pissed off. You're like, no, it's really tiring. A change of seasons is what the basic human being needs.
I agree. I would not like for it to be that hot all the time. I do like a good season.
Cook up a good season. Well done. We're over easy.
Isn't that an egg?
Yeah, something. I like my seasons over easy or poached. Not a great bit for the show, but for those following Emily's Walmart sucks issue, they ended up doing the right thing, apparently.
They did. It was really great.
good.
And I think that what I have learnt is it really depends who you get, because they rejected it and sent me an email saying it was rejected. And then I was like, I'm not taking no for an answer. So I had another crack, and somebody else did it and approved it, and it went through. So high five. High five, Mark. Thank you.
Occasionally, they will do the right thing. I guess we can now say that maybe Walmart is a little bit better than Target because Target doesn't respond to any of my nonsense. So we'll see. By the way, if anybody heard it, I just had the weirdest gurgle come out of my throat when I took a drink of water. So that's what that was.
Finally. Well, you know what? I'm really thankful that you have good gurgling and active bowel sounds. It means you're healthy.
I don't want to brag, but I'm known for my gurgle. It comes up all the time. People talk about it. All the people are saying, many of them, that I have the best gurgle around. So
It's the best gurgle.
yeah.
It's the biggest gurgle.
Yeah. So when we were recording last week's show, the Pam Bondi thing was happening right as we were
Wow.
doing it. And
Wow.
God, that's like something when we look back on history, people are going to go, holy shit, look at all the people that had some courage to stand up to her, one Republican, and look at what an asshole she was.
She's not okay.
No.
Like, she's not right in the brain box. But I think in order to occupy that position in this regime, she would have to not be right in the head.
True. Are you like me? Every time somebody says Trump derangement syndrome, do you immediately think they're talking about people that support him? When they say that phrase, I think, yeah, MAGA people. Oh, wait, they mean that we're obsessed with him and that's why we're being mean. It's not that he's an asshole or anything.
It really is bizarre. I don't hear a lot of it because I just turn off my brain when I hear it. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. But yeah, I do think that MAGA loyalists who have selective outrage about things and think that Donald Trump is the second coming of Jesus Christ are the deranged ones.
Yeah, because she said it to a couple people a couple times, and I went, what? What? Oh, wait, she's talking about them. I see. It's like calling somebody a snowflake or something at this point. I can't even fathom it. Like, oh, okay, if I'm a snowflake and that means disagreeing with you, I'm all for it. And I thought these people were pretty much done. And then I went on next door earlier, and they're big in my neighborhood. A lot of that going on. And it's just amazing they still exist.
I do take issue with people who tell people they have a mental illness just because they disagree with them.
Right.
I think that if somebody thought that Donald Trump was a lizard person, I think you could say they might have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, I'd join you there. But just because they disagree with his policies or the way that he's conducting his presidency doesn't make them deranged, doesn't make them a domestic terrorist. I think that we should be able to disagree on things without resorting to name calling or trying to make medical diagnoses that don't exist.
What about Antifa? Are you a member of Antifa?
Oh my God.
I'm not a member of Antifa. I will tell you, though, I've been out protesting. I haven't seen any of my checks in the mail for going out and being paid to protest. I'm really pissed off, and I would like that to change immediately.
The irony of it is that, I mean, as we know, Antifa or whatever isn't actually a thing. It doesn't actually
It's something
exist.
they created.
And when you actually look at the stuff that has happened, people got paid for January 6th, like their flights were paid for. They were bussed in to attend that event, which could be considered compensation of some type. We've got Elon Musk literally paying for people's votes, but it's the lefties who are getting paid to protest.
Allegedly. That's what they say.
I would just point, if I can, to the hipster outfits. Okay. If we were getting paid,
Yeah.
we'd be dressing way better.
That's true.
Okay? And we'd be having fancy coffees.
Yeah. Although maybe it's part of casting, maybe we're playing the role of those Trump deranged hippies. Maybe that's our thing. Maybe it's part of good casting and good wardrobe. Okay, which is fine by me. I enjoy it. It's very comfortable.
Because we're all crisis actors
Yeah,
or whatever it
that's
is.
Fucking idiots. Yeah, Antifa is as real as the people in the pizza parlor torturing and killing children and drinking their blood. There's that whole thing. And I'm thinking of all the little bits of this conversation that somebody could pull out and take out of context and make it seem like we were saying things. And yeah, I'm a member of Antifa and I get paid to go to protests. There you go, you sons of bitches. Eat a dick. Fuckers. That was sarcasm in case you're too dumb to realize it.
In case you are not fluent in sarcasm. It is interesting, though, this stuff that's coming out about the Epstein files and stuff. I thought that Pizzagate, when QAnon came out with that, I thought it was the Podesta emails and everything. I thought that is...
She's got some gas coming up.
No, sorry, I'm trying not to cough.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were having a gassy moment like you do.
No, I'm trying not to cough everywhere. It's so gross. No, I don't usually sound like this. I'm so sorry. But the show must go on.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show must go on.
A+ efforts to you for even being here. I appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
There you go.
And now, the deeper I get into it, whilst I'm not sure if I 100% believe it, some of the crazy stuff, I mean, you cannot ignore the pizza references and the grape soda references and all that sort of stuff. It has to be code for something. What is it? I'm not 100% sure. It does seem to point to kitty fiddling of some description.
Yeah, and there's things they're talking about human jerky and all these things that you're right, must be code. But then you see that and you think, okay, it's almost like they were taking things they are doing and projecting it onto something else to make the other guy look like bad people.
I mean, potentially, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Nothing surprises me anymore. And so if it was to come out that those QAnon folks were right, I mean, if you go and read the statements from some of these girls who've talked about these tortures and these murders and all of that kind of stuff, and now they're saying, yeah, that has happened.
What if they were right, but they were just right about the wrong party doing it, is the way I look at it.
That is exactly what I'm thinking. And we talked about it on the show, the last show. I think this goes beyond parties. This is a tier or a class or a something thing. And it's right up there with who controls the world. And it doesn't actually matter which party is in power because there are people above those people who they are just puppets for.
I view it as classism that started during the Reagan administration and has gotten progressively worse, even with the different administrations that we've had, and the rich have gotten richer and the poor have gotten poorer, and we're almost like a caste system, and that's where we are now, but at least people are kind of revolting and starting to see it, and I'm hopeful and faithful that people will come around, except when I go on to Nextdoor and start looking at that, because I just see so many kooks where I am, and it's ridiculous. I will play this for you. This came up just yesterday, in fact. This is What If Pam Bondi Was a Waitress? A comedian online put this together, and this is her playing the role of Pam Bondi as a waitress.
Greetings.
Hi, what are your specials?
Well, it's funny. Since my time as waitress, I have completed more orders than...
Sorry, what are the specials?
Excuse me! I'm going to answer the question when I'm good and ready. Your theatrics are ridiculous. Okay, the market price fish might be up, but the Dow is down. Oh, you can't read the menu because of redactions? How about you apologize for coming in here with a party of 11?
Ma'am, could I get a refill on water?
Did you drink the water I already gave you?
Yeah, but I want...
So you admit that I already gave you water?
Yeah, but
I yield my time.
Ma'am.
Oh, so you want to complain that I gave you pickles when you said you didn't want pickles, but how about you apologize for a complicated order? I have yet to hear an apology from you, or you for that matter. What are the gluten-free options? How about you grow a pair? A turkey burger? This guy's got beef derangement syndrome over here. Give me a break.
Check, please.
You do not tell me what to do. I will get you the check when I want to get you the check.
And could I please get that with Italian dressing?
Italian dressing? In America? Just say you love illegal invaders.
And that's not that far-fetched. With everything that happened this past Tuesday, that's not that out there, you know?
No. I was giggling along because having watched some of it, it was almost too close to be comedy.
She's one of those people that you look at and you just instantly dislike her, and she's just such an asshole, even by her looks. Some of it you can talk yourself out of and go, okay, I don't like that person and they look terrible, but if I didn't know them, maybe they'd be okay. You look at her and you just immediately go, oh my God, she's an asshole cunt. She's the worst. She's the top tier of Republicans. It's amazing to me.
There's something not right about her eyes. And there's something about it that I find disconcerting, like not quite human. I don't know how to describe it, almost like disassociate, just hollow, soulless, just looks a little bit scary. You know, sometimes you meet someone and you look them in the eye and you go, ugh. Yeah, she's got that.
The eyes are off somehow and the makeup is off, and she looks like somebody that is kind of inbred that would be in a trailer park, but is very hostile and mean.
I can't even have an unaided recall of what her physical features are because I don't
She's
think
got
she's an
one eye a
ugly
little bit
woman.
askew, but I think it helps make her look mean.
Oh, maybe. What is it with the Trump administration and the cockeyed freaks? What's with that?
Is that rhetorical? Because
I mean, it kind of is. I
look
feel
at
like
Kash
there's a
Patel
pattern
and
developing. Yeah. And
maybe the idea is that all the other mutants will have it will appeal to them more. Maybe that's what it is.
Hmm.
Look,
I
mutant, here's one of
don't-
you.
I just don't know. And I wonder if these people, I try to put myself in their shoes or sort of get in their head. Surely at some point, these people in these positions realize, oh man, this is the worst ride ever.
Yeah.
We've got to get out of this. This is crazy. I might go to prison for this. If I make it through the next 3 years, I may end up going to prison. This is super mega bad. And they either resign, and I think a number of lower tiered people in the administration are resigning, like that lady from the Antitrust Commission, and they're sort of throwing gentle grenades as they go out the door. But then the others, they just seem to just be digging in, like getting more crazy.
Well, they see it all happening and they think they're going to be able to ride it out, and it's not going to happen to them because they think they're better than that and they can make it work, and they think he's not going to turn on them, and he absolutely will turn on them. They just don't realize it, and then they get screwed trying to ride it out, and that's kind of what has happened to this entire country.
But what I don't understand is, do they genuinely believe the shit that comes out of their mouths?
No.
Or I honestly, in my heart, cannot believe that they do. Just because it's illogical in many circumstances.
I
And
think
that's
they
why she
believe
won't
some
answer questions.
things, but nobody buys all that bullshit. I think certain people buy into certain things, and that keeps them happy, and the rest, they think they're going to be able to ride out, and then there's no way you can.
Yeah. It's all very, look at my eyes, don't look at my hands. What are my hands doing? Look at that over here. What's over here?
Look at my
Like
jazz hands.
Yeah, because they're not answering questions. They're just
Right.
talking around the issue, or just talking about something completely different.
Yeah, it's
as
that typical
evidence in the
political
comedy script.
spin. It's oh, well, here's the start of the question. I'm going to answer it by starting here, but then taking it here and going completely around. And by the time I'm done, I haven't really answered the question at all.
No, I've just told you some things that I had on my list of speaking points.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
crazy.
And by the way, I wanted to, we started that whole thing and got through it. And I totally meant to mention that her name was April Ajoy. She's a comedian and podcaster that did that Pam Bondi thing. I always intend to do that right at the end of the thing, and then we start talking and we go all over. So I wanted to give her credit where credit is due.
Yes. Kudos, April Ajoy.
What else did you want to say there?
It's not Epstein files, but it's Epstein adjacent, which is, I am gobsmacked. Did you hear about what happened in a child sexting in Nevada last week?
No, tell me.
A 38-year-old senior official for Israel's National Cyber Directorate was arrested actually, it was August 6th, so we're a little bit out of, step with it. But they returned him. They just gave him back to Israel. He was done trying to have sex with a 12-year-old boy. And they just gave him back to Israel. They just let him go
So
back.
other brown people that are here working for a living and wanting to do good things and that are paying taxes get pulled off the street and sent to a country that is not even their own. Oh, and in between, they get put in a concentration camp and we send them to a random country. But that guy diddling kids or allegedly trying to diddle kids, we just say go away and go back to your own place. Is that accurate?
That seems to be it. Also, I would like to correct myself. I've read multiple news articles,
Sure.
and I'm just reading a second one here, and I think I got my facts incorrect. The law enforcement decoy pretended to be a 15-year-old girl and started talking to him on a dating application and then WhatsApp. And so that was the sting.
It's fine.
Wow.
I'll just do an edit here. Let me know what was that.
That was the robot vacuum. Okay, that was Roomba. That was Roomba. Okay, so as we discussed, we're going on vacation.
Okay, maybe I'll leave this in because this is pretty entertaining. In addition to all my little foibles and things of, do you have the pillow up to hide that fan? We now have to contend with your robot.
Okay, so my whole family is home right now.
Yeah.
It's much later.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night for us, and we're pre-recording.
It's a Friday night for me too.
What?
Just in case you don't know.
This space and time thing. I was saying it's Friday night for us as in you and me. Like
I'm
it's
not
Friday.
in Australia.
It's Friday night for both you and I, the two people hosting the show.
That's the way it works.
It works. And because of that, the studio conditions are more complex.
Yeah.
And because I'm a little bit OTT, as my kids call me, just in case, professional over-preparer, okay?
Yeah.
So I clean my house perfectly before we leave. We're going to leave this house and we're going to come back and it's spotless. I mean,
Right.
I've cleaned the ovens. Like I'm getting crazy this whole week just trying to make the house perfect for when we come back from vacation.
In the process of doing that, the robot started up as we were doing the show. And I just want to know how you silenced the robot so quickly. I didn't see you turn around and shoot it or anything. I just saw you turn off your mic for a second and laugh. And then it's as if someone killed the robot.
So it had finished a job and it goes back to a little clean base
that's
and
what
it
it's doing.
self-empties. Okay, so it had run out of battery.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had put it on its little stand and obviously it's now got enough battery to empty the dustbin. So that's what's happened. It's woken up and gone, ha! Right at the most inopportune times. I thought we were fine because they were all back on their little clean bases. They're all resting.
And I don't want to brag or anything, but I self-empty too. I have that going on.
Half your luck,
Yeah,
okay?
I mean-
Not everyone can, just so you know.
It's true. It would be bad not to be able to.
Yes, indeed.
I have
So there you
a
go.
question. As you go through life and you're dealing with all the horrible things that you deal with, are you nicer to immigrants than people that are from here? And how do you feel about that? Because I have an example of that.
Oh, am I? No. I am equally nice to everyone. But what I will observe is this.
Mm.
Americans are more surprised when you're nice to them than immigrants are. And a really specific example of this is we've got these great gardening guys, Carlos and his crew. We've been working with them for like 7.5 years, and they're doing some paving for us at the moment. Every time I see the guys, we chat, I get them drinks, I get them snacks, we hang out, we chat. It's great. And it's just normal, right? Normal. Great. Then I'll go to a grocery store and there'll be Americans and they're so rude.
Mm.
They just blank you, won't greet you. I'll be like, just my normal self. Hi, how are you? And they'll just stare into my soul. Okay, I guess we're not doing that. How are you?
See, and I don't
Fine.
think that's because you're a foreigner, because you're one of the good foreigners. You're one of the white foreigners. If you had different colored skin, I would think maybe it's racially motivated, but you would think they'd be okay with you.
Well, I'm going to talk about that actually. That's a really great point. Let me put a
Alright.
pin in that one.
All
But I
right.
went this morning to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I was way, way, way away from my house. And the people were so surprised I was being nice to them. It's like no one's ever smiled at them. No one's ever said, good morning, how are you? And the lady's like, oh, hi. Thank you for asking. I'm great. And she's just like so surprised. And then we had a nice little chat and it was really sweet. I was talking to everybody behind the counter. It was great. But it's so upsetting to me that these poor people must get treated like absolute shit all day, every day, that when someone just comes in and acts like a normal human being, that all of a sudden that's just making their day. That really bums me out.
I've had a little bit of that too, because generally I'm pretty good with people too. And there's a little bit of a, wow, he was just okay. And okay, he's one of the decent ones. But then I was also getting my taxes done. And I just went to a little shop because I have easy taxes this year. and the woman that was helping me appeared to be Asian, and she was really struggling with the language, and you could tell that though that was the case, she was really wanting to do a good job and make sure I understood, and she did a good job. And this is the rich asshole part of Orange County, and she must deal with dickheads all the time. And I thought, wow, she must just worry about her very existence. She must go to work daily, trying to do a good job, trying to do the right thing. I'm sure she's here legally if she's got that job doing taxes for people, interacting with people for the IRS. And she must be worried about just getting arrested going to work every day of her life. And if she does get stopped, she's going to have an accent, so they're going to treat her worse. And we got through it all, and she did a good job. And then I got home and I got a survey, and I made her out to be just the greatest human being alive that ever existed. Oh my God. And I thought, okay, that's nice to do, but it's also not accurate. And I wouldn't have done that for a white person in that same role, but I don't feel guilty about that at all. I feel like she's going through that, and give her a little bit of extra something if that helps her, you know? But it conflicted me a little bit.
I think that's really nice of you to do. I have a position that I take on these sorts of things. Like, for example, I am all about treating people the right way, which includes treating people the same. So here's a really specific example of that. If there's somebody who has, like a disability or something like that, depending on what it is, I'm going to treat them as just a regular person, especially people who have like cerebral palsy and stuff like that. Sure, they might have some physical limitations and, all that kind of stuff, but let them work their stuff out. Don't talk to them like they're an invalid.
I'm also very conscious of that. I do not want to down talk those people, and I'm just very much, hey, how's it going?
Right.
I get what you're saying.
So in that same vein, I try not to be an apologist for things for people. So, for example, immigrants. Yes, I'm one of them. But when I meet someone, I want to treat them exactly the same as I would treat everyone else. Now, granted, I treat everybody as nicely as possible. It's my thing. But I don't want to overdo it as well, because then I feel like I'm being biased. So here, and sometimes you accidentally do the wrong thing when you're trying to do the right thing. Here is an example that I would use in my corporate career all the time. Imagine that there's a lady who just had a baby, okay? And an opportunity comes up for somebody in the team to go to a conference or something. I've had managers say, oh, well, I'm not going to send Susie because she just had a baby. She's not going to want to go, so I'm not going to put her in the awkward position to ask her. What if you're robbing her of the opportunity to make the choice for herself by deciding what you think she wants, and accidentally, in trying to be nice, you take away a career opportunity from her?
I think that is actually part of one of the stupid training modules I've been forced to take year after year. I swear to God, that's an example.
Really?
Yeah, I swear. I think it is. It seems very
so
familiar
funny
to me. No, you can't do that. You're probably right. Maybe Susie wouldn't want to travel, but you can't assume that. Okay, great. I'll choose B then. Fuck you.
Right. It's so funny, but I think that's like another example. I'm getting like too far off topic, but I had a very interesting conversation yesterday that I think might tickle your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So I got lashes put on yesterday. My lash tech is an absolute legend. She just happens to be African American, and we know each other pretty well. And we were talking, actually having a very similar conversation to this, about biases and race and everything that's happening with immigration and yada, yada, yada. And she got to telling me about something that I'd thought I'd noticed since living in the South on occasion, but that I thought, no, it can't possibly be that, because that would be racist. She admitted to me that she has friends who are also African American who very specifically hate all white people and blame them for everything and are objectively, on purpose, rude to them at all times because they think that white people ruined the United States.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's very interesting. I'm like, how is that different to, other people who are being racist? She's like, it ain't. She's like, it isn't at all. And she's like, and I tell them that all the time.
Mm.
And so it's just very interesting. I think I suspected some of that, but she made it sound like it was way more common. And so now if that happens, I'm like, all right, well, I don't feel too bad about it. But it is a little bit sad to know that that's a thing.
And the thing I'm thinking of is that all that stuff feeds itself, because white people treated them terribly, and then they act that way towards white people, and it only increases the hatred, and then they treat them worse, and then it's just this big circle, and nothing ever gets accomplished. And what do you do to fix that?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it always takes, someone's got to step outside the cycle to break the cycle.
Yeah.
And I think it's way harder to do that than some people realize. But we were talking about it today too in the car while we were driving for 3 hours, my eldest son and I. And we were talking about the age of the United States. I mean, as a country, what are we? How many 250 years old or something?
Something, yeah.
Something like that ish.
Yeah.
Compare that to some European cultures. We're basically infants culturally, maybe teenagers. And I wonder, is this whole cultural sort of seesaw of weirdness like those adolescent, uncomfortable, just pimply, gobshite years of the country? And are we going to come out the other side of it? When's our Rome moment?
Like maybe
I don't
now
know.
as a country, we've stolen the keys to Dad's car and we're drunk. Maybe that's where we're at.
That was the prevailing theory that we were kicking around and laughing about. And that we've been given things that we don't understand. And it's kind of like Lord of the Flies. We're on this island and it's all kids and they're crushing each other's heads with rocks. And it's just weird. Yeah.
That's not that bad an analogy. When you were saying it, I was like, but as far as ages go, we are young and pendulums do swing back and forth. And at the very least, I think we're at the very end of the shitty pendulum, and we've really got to get back to what this country was supposed to be.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind it if we just were a little bit more moderate. It feels like in all of the time that I've been coming to the United States and lived in the United States, that when I first came, it felt like things were a little bit more moderate. And I still have a bunch of friends who are Republicans, and you could have polite discourse about things. You could even argue about things, but it wasn't going to impact on your relationship. You wouldn't worry that things were going to come to blows, or that viewpoints were going to be so extreme, and that it's like people's whole identity is now wrapped up in that, and it's some sort of tribalism, and there's a war happening almost. But it really feels like that now, and that's happened in the last 15 years. Do you agree, or do you think it's always been this volatile?
No, it's gotten way more volatile. And I will say that though I preach moderation all the time, I've gotten more extreme in my views. I'm the guy that told all my old friends that if you are a Trump supporter at this point, you need to unfollow me. I can't listen to any of your bullshit. It's not a time for moderation. If you are still supporting this person, it really says something about you. And it's not just that we disagree politically, it's that you are a hateful, loony person, and I don't want you in my life, and that's where we're at with it. And I had a couple people that unfriended me, and I'm like, okay, message sent. Now, I don't have to listen to you argue about how it's okay to pick up random people and arrest them because they're brown colored. That's cool. You're out of my life. I've always been the guy since we've done the show and since I started the show that's like, oh, people just need to bitch a little bit less, and you should be able to disagree and just move on and be people's friends. But at this point, for sure, if you're a Trump supporter, it says everything about you and you can't be in my life. My question to you would be, how do you judge people that are your friends that are Republicans? And do you immediately assume the worst until they say, yeah, I'm a Republican, but I don't support him?
Most of my Republican friends are not triple Trumpers. So they're Republican and they don't support Donald Trump. So
how are they on their views that go along with his views? Do they think that picking people up randomly and putting them in concentration camps and or killing them is justified and okay, and it's just the cost that you have for business?
Not all of them, but I think that the way that they perceive things is different. So I'll use a conversation with my dad as an example. So for the longest time, and I think that this is part of the Trump narrative, they don't think that the things that are being reported in the media are actually happening. They believe that it's not really happening. So for the longest time, none of them believed that any US citizens were being picked up. I think it really took the Alex Pretty murder, and not even the Renee Good murder, the Alex Pretty murder, for people to go, oh, now we see. Because they just quite literally do not believe that it is as bad as what people are saying. But now things are starting to come out. I think a lot of people are starting to turn now. But in the earlier days of the administration and when these things first started, I had a lot of conversations with people telling me that's not actually happening, that is fake news, yada, yada.
See, and that's where I lose my patience, because I feel like, okay, if you're a good friend of mine and you believe all of this is made up, that speaks to your stupidity, and it speaks to the fact that probably you're a cult member and I don't have time for you. There's too much going on and too much we have to fix as a society. Be out of my life and I'm going to be done with you. If I had a family member that I was really close with that thought that shit, it would have to be the same thing. Sorry, no Christmas. I don't have time for you. I can't be supportive of you. And maybe that's just our different natures, but I'd just be like, fuck yeah.
What if it was your mom? Would you move out, leave her on her own?
That's a good question. I don't know. Luckily, my mom, 80 years old, is more militant than I am. I can't say that. I think in that case, I would have to put up with it because I look out for her and take care of her, and I would want to abandon her, and we would probably have tons of fights, but that one I would probably have to stick by.
Yeah.
I'm a good son.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier, too, for people who are, let me just say, members of the friend group or,
right.
That. But immediate family, I think, is a little bit more difficult, at least in my position. And I think yours too.
If she was somebody that I just had to see around holidays, I would be way more distanced. But if it's somebody that I have to take care of, that makes the difference because, that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. It is tricky too, though. I do look at a bunch of folks who, for example, like don't believe what's happening in the Epstein files and things like that. I like to believe that people will change their opinion in the face of new information. However, some people have already decided that they won't. And I get more upset about that bloody mindedness than what I do about their opinion. Does that make sense? Like people who are really committed to their current level of belief and understanding. And I feel like that is a crime against humanity in many ways, because if you want to be a better person, you should be committed to being a learn-it-all versus a know-it-all. I'm sure that people can point to times where I have been a hypocrite in that sense or whatever, but I like to believe that in my heart, I am somebody who will change their mind in the face of new information and that I'm open to receiving new information. That's another reason why I like having diverse friends, because it can help me get really firm on what I believe. And so that's another thing my kids and I were talking about today is about the immigration thing and blah, blah, blah. And my son said something. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to steal that. But he's like, I don't know if I'm right, but I know I'm not wrong. And I was like, touche. I like that. I'm going to steal it.
See, and then when you get to those people that will not turn and won't hear new ideas and are just steadfast that we're doing the right thing and this is what needs to be done, I have tried to evaluate whether it is just their ego that won't give up and won't admit they're wrong, or if they truly believe this horrendous line of bullshit that they've been fed and they're in a cult. And either way, I come out with the same ending of, I can't have you in my life anymore. Either way, you're fucking stupid, or either way, you have an enormous ego and won't give in on what is right and humane. So I'm done with you. To me, if you're overtly choosing not to be humane to other people, that's huge.
Yeah, I agree. I often like to ask too, like, what is it, get to the desired outcome. Start from the desired outcome, because it's like, well, I often find I have more in common with those people, or I might be able to find some common ground if I dig deep into, well, what is it that you think we're trying to fix, or what is the thing? Because oftentimes what we disagree on, and I think this is the perennial political problem, whoa, there's some alliteration for you, is disagreeing on the how to achieve the goal. But oftentimes we're quite aligned around what it is. So on the immigration thing, I have very strong opinions about how it's being done. But if the goal is to protect our borders, to make sure that we are getting rid of criminals and protecting and providing a great career opportunity and land of the free, home of the brave, all of that sort of thing for legal immigrants to positively contribute to our society, I think that if you just say that, everyone will say, yes, that's what our goal is. It's not to torture children and have women sexually assaulted by ICE agents and people murdered in the street.
Most people in this country would agree there's an immigration issue that needs to be fixed. Right. It's just this line of bullshit that the voters were fed to get him elected isn't it.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you on that. And as we've talked about on the show multiple times, ICE wasn't born yesterday. This ICE, this season of ICE is over-militarized, exploded. This is Gremlins after midnight ICE. We had regular Gremlin ICE and they were doing a good job. Anyway, I've totally rambled about that, but
well, let me ask you this, and then we'll move on to this other thing that I have, but that we've been wanting to get to. They are now pulling out of Minneapolis. What do you think is behind that? I don't think they're doing it even because they've been pressured. I think they're doing it because of the way it looks, or maybe there's something else terrible that's coming soon.
My cynical view on it is that the court of public opinion has swung in a direction that Trump doesn't like. So in the early days, before the Republicans were believing the bad stuff that ICE was doing, they were still like, yeah, more, get them, go. But then as more stuff has come out, I think the popularity of it has really waned. And then based upon that, I mean, we saw, what was his name, Bongino or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That fuckhead. I don't know. I've deleted him from my memory. Can you see? The guy that
got fired.
The guy that got fired was the phase 1. That wasn't enough. And now they have to be seen to be getting out of Minneapolis. And they're doing it under the guise of the operation has been complete.
Well, and I'm just really wary of the fact that they're going to try to move them back into Democratic cities during the midterms. And I'm watching for them to do that. And they've
already said that they're going to do it. And so we should all reasonably expect that there will be ICE agents around all of the polling booths.
Yep. Vote anyway.
We just have to vote anyway and make sure that you take your passport if you have one, which, by the way, are prohibitively expensive. We've talked about this sort of crazy classist issue, but take more ID than you think that you need to and go and stand in the lines and vote anyway.
Yep. It's what you have to do as a citizen. It's always like, you have to vote, you're a citizen. This is one of two big ones that you really have to vote. We've seen how fucked up it can be, so make sure you do it.
Oh, I got a question. It's the agitator question, which is, if your desired outcome is to make sure that you get to the polling booth, if an ICE agent asks to see your passport, are you going to show them, or are you going to tell them, I don't have to because I'm an American citizen, and risk getting arrested?
I don't know. Because here we can easily vote by mail, which I've done unless that gets changed. But I don't know how I would handle that. I guess I would think it would be for the greater good if I show my passport and then I can vote and then give them the finger as I'm leaving. And then if I get arrested, oh, well, at least I did my part.
Yeah. That's
but you being a foreigner, how do you handle that? Same situation?
I mean, I have my American passport. I carry it everywhere with me now.
Right.
So, yeah, I plan to take my passport and I will just answer all of their invasive questions and charm them so that I can get to the polling booth.
If it's obvious that they are doing it for the MAGA crowd and for the Republican crowd, and they make it known that they want to make sure that you are voting Republican, do you lie going into the voting booth to make them happy? Yeah, me too. I'll say whatever I need to say just to get that vote in.
Something that I've observed around with my neighbors as I'm driving around is I've noticed that lots of immigrant households are now putting American flags out the front of their house.
That's interesting because that flag creates a perception. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's an innuendo that, hey, we're with you fuckers. Wow, that's really good. Took me a second.
Yeah, it's the immigration beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, America. America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, they're putting like Trump signs and stuff in their yards and things like that too. Yeah.
You'd think you'd have to tell your neighbors that. You're like, okay, I'm doing this because, oh, okay, I get it.
Well, anybody who knows them knows that's why they're doing it.
All right. So moving on, if your husband died, how long would it take you to get over, do you think?
Oh,
Horrible
never.
Scenario, but never. Okay.
Is this Erika Kirk? Because holy jeez,
I'm just
far out.
Just have an example of something I've been wanting to play for a while.
Oh my God. Let's do this. And then I really want to talk about Erika Kirk. But never. I could never. I don't think that I could date again or marry again or.
How long would it take you to be bright and cheery ever if your husband got killed? Say he was shot in the head.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
11 days?
So, and here's why. Joy can be fleeting. If my husband, heaven forbid, was to pass away, I still have a lot of great things. We have beautiful children. We have a life that we need to make. I would obviously be absolutely fucking devastated. But I think that with my friends and with close people and stuff, I could experience moments of joy. And I think within a relatively brief period of time, because I don't actually have the opportunity to just lie down and cry about it because I'd have shit to do.
Okay, well, let me play this for you. That asshole Candace Evans got this tape. This is Erika Kirk on the phone to her staff, talking to them after a rally. And for perspective, this is 11 days after his assassination. And tell me if you would be this way. And we'll listen to as much of this as
already can tell you fucking no.
we can stand.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and the stadium, overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million? You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do, and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think We're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy.
Merch sales are important. I
just wanted to say a huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team. It's just phenomenal. Their incredible work leading into the memorial. And honestly, a lot of the staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week during the time of us grieving the loss of my husband. And honestly,
even when she says grieving the loss of my husband, she sounds like she's doing it with a smile, you know?
Yeah, she is. I've watched the video of it.
Well, what I have here is a video, but it's just waves. It's just voice waves. I don't have the video portion.
There is somebody who took a video of the Zoom call. I think that audio is from. And the thing that I find disconcerting about it is how she's really focused on the performance numbers and referring to her husband's memorial as the event of the century and talking about merch sales and that kind of stuff. You know, I could get on board with, you know, as she's the new CEO, getting on a call, thanking everybody for all of their hard work around memorializing my husband and having people hear the message and all of those different bits and pieces and thanking those people.
But
I could
this
see
doesn't
that.
have that tone to me. Does it have that tone to you?
But that's what I mean. It doesn't have that tone. And I wonder if because she is grieving, I imagine no one's in their right mind. I know that I wouldn't be in my right mind, and maybe she's cosplaying as a CEO. Maybe she's doing what she thinks she's supposed to be doing. Maybe she's doing the show must go on. Like if I want to be generous of spirit. However, I'm not really, because I've also seen the change she made to the podcast studio that she's now taken over from her husband. So if you go and look at a side-by-side, the only difference between her studio, which is Charlie's studio, is she took down their wedding photo.
Which is weird. You would think you would want to leave it up. Did she take that down intentionally so that people wouldn't think that she was trying to milk it, maybe? Oh, look at me and my husband.
Well, it's always been in Charlie's background. It's always been there.
Okay.
And so, but the only thing that's changed is it got taken down. Now, again, if I want to be generous of spirit, I could think maybe she took it down so it could be on display at the memorial. Maybe it's part of a shrine somewhere else in the house and it's not sort of weird. But people are reading negative things into it. I don't know what stage of grief pyrotechnics are. That's what I keep saying about that, because every time I see her, she's doing something and I just wonder, they've got kids, right? Those kids must be having a really difficult time too.
And it's easy to twist. It's easy to exploit. But did you see the big hug that everybody got fixated on with J.D. Vance? It was like, it was like an "I'm gonna fuck you later" kind of hug. That's the way it read to me, and maybe I'm being cynical.
Yeah, I think some of it was that she was wearing leather pants too. I don't know. It was just all round a little bit odd. I don't know. I think that maybe those people are just a little bit odd. I've been watching Candace Owens lately.
Candace Owens is an asshole. Oh my God.
I didn't know that she worked for Turning Point.
Oh, I didn't either. That's news to me.
Yeah, so that's why I was interested. I was like, what?
Oh.
And she got pushed out under some really weird circumstances, and she's now publicly picking a fight with Erika Kirk.
Right.
She's basically accusing Erika of killing her husband.
And I bet she still has contacts there, and that's how she got this audio.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And she's calling her out. She's done like this big open letter and basically blaming Erika for turning her really good friend Charlie against her and making him lie to her, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there's all sorts of internal beef within the Republican magosphere at the moment. They're tearing each other apart.
And here's a thing that I will now mention because it seems important to mention. As all of these terrible people and kooks start to go to the other side and start to say horrible things and turn on each other don't necessarily buy their bullshit. Marjorie Taylor Greene started the trend, and now I saw today Nancy Mace is calling out Pam Bondi. Nancy Mace is one of the worst people on the planet. She's despicable, and never trust her, never go with anything she says. Even if she's doing good things, never trust her. Keep an eye over your shoulder, metaphorically, but these are not people that are to be cheered after the fact because they're jumping off the ship that's sinking. Keep that in mind. That's my opinion.
And also, it's never too late to make a good decision. And regardless of how I feel about some of these individuals, I do applaud them for doing the hard thing, which is often the right thing, and breaking with their party.
Except if they're doing it to
bullshit.
save themselves, it's completely insincere. That's the way I look at it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they're doing it. And I hope a lot more of them do it, even if it is just to save themselves.
Yeah, it will come to the same end that we
Because
want.
it'll come to the same end.
Right.
The means doesn't, or the end doesn't justify the means. But I think in this instance it does. Like
Yeah,
they
I mean,
can-
any way we can get there, I'm good with that. And aside from that, do you know who Busy Phillips is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. To me, Erika Kirk sounds like a shitty Busy Phillips. Same kind of cadence and speech and that kind of thing. Busy Phillips will play her one day in the history. Well, she'll be too old then. Never mind. But she sounds like a cunty Busy Phillips. That's my point. Erika Kirk.
I don't really know anything about Busy Phillips except from the fact that she was in the band Wilson Phillips and she's best friends with Michelle Williams, former partner of Heath Ledger. This is all I know of these people.
Different Phillips than you're thinking of. She was not in Wilson Phillips. She was.
Really?
She had a talk show for a while and she was an actress. She was.
Right.
Here's a thing you could watch with the kids. Great show called Freaks and Geeks. That I think Judd Apatow was involved in. Busy Phillips is in that. It's a great show. You can watch it with the family, but it's not a family show. It doesn't suck. Freaks and Geeks is one of the greatest shows ever.
Okay, I'll check that out. That's so good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I really honestly thought that she was in that band or the child of one of the people in the band. Like
There's
I
a
thought
lot
that
of
she
Phillips.
was.
There's who's the other Phillips? China Phillips. Oh, she was the good Phillips. And then there was
Phillips head screwdriver.
Yeah.
What?
China Phillips, Carney Wilson.
China? Her name really was China Phillips?
Yeah, China. Chyna.
Okay.
And then two of them were sisters. There was like Mary Phillips or something. Anyway.
Yeah, there was like a Phillips. It was Flathead and the other one.
Yeah.
Two Phillips. And
All right. Well, once again, we've talked, so I'm not going to be able to play this thing, but I will tell you coming up in future Total Babble episodes, this great thing that I found today. You know, Bill McClintock, he does the mashups that we like. Greatest production guy ever.
So I ruined it.
Well, we both talk a lot. We're just out of our heads with the talk. But
Yeah, no, I was saying, doesn't he?
Oh.
Isn't his show called
Yeah.
There I Ruined It?
I thought you were blaming us for a second. And who else do you blame, really, except us?
Who else
But
can you blame? We're the only people here.
that's right.
And
We're
the robot vacuum.
it's a Friday night for both of us. But anyway. Do you know the band Rat?
No,
Okay.
not personally.
Okay.
But
Do you
I
know
feel like I'd like to get to know them.
the band Rat? Do you know the song Round and Round? That was by Rat. Round and Round. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Okay, that was Rat. What if you took that and combined it with Sade? Oh, it's really good. And we'll play it probably next time because I was going to do it this time, but
Which Sade?
Smooth Operator.
In my house, that song, the lyrics are actually boom operator.
How
As
does
in like
that
the
work?
boom microphone. Every time we see a boom mic in any kind of production, we sing it. Boom operator. It's just a boom operator. Yeah, it's good. Can't
All
wait.
right. Well, have a very good trip. Be safe. Let me know if you decide not to come back. Honestly, no bullshit. If you can talk to anybody in government there and find out a way that I could defect, I really am still interested in doing that. Our Ghostbuster friend that's up there that was going to help me with that, I haven't kept in touch with him, and I should have. And now I checked with a legal thing in Canada, and they said I didn't qualify, but maybe that's because they wouldn't be able to get enough money from me. I don't know. It's also iffy. So.
What do you mean, get enough money for you? You selling your organs?
Well, seemed like it was one of those places that for a legal fee would help me get into Canada as a resident. And it seemed like when they ran all my information, I wasn't as financially advantageous as they would hope. So that's kind of what I took from it anyway. But
I'd be offended if I was you.
Whatever. Dual citizenship is what I'm looking for.
So there are a variety of different ways to do it. I've been investigating, but I don't know if you can defect. Not defect. It defects the wrong thing.
I want to be
defects the wrong word. Be a refugee.
I want to become bi is what I'm saying, is what I would like to do in the country. So if you work that out, that'd be great.
I'll see what I can discover.
And say hi to your kids. I'm sure they love me, and we'll go from there.
They will. Unky Stew.
Unky Stew. Nice. I'm a Mexican uncle. I'm adopted as a Mexican uncle. So there you go. I'm Tio. Maybe make Tio an Australian thing too. That would be great. Something for all the cultures.
Oh, yeah.
Tio on the Barbie.
No, you don't. That would be a bad outcome.
No, you're right.
That would be a bad outcome.
Once I think it through, that wouldn't be great.
But yeah, Tio something.
Yeah.
But you know what song's in my head right now? Tio in the USA. So dumb.
Oh my God. All righty.
Get the hell away from me.
And we'll talk next time.
Finn.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.
If you want to be a better person, you should be committed to being a learn-it-all versus a know-it-all.